What's good, LL?
All good, man. How you?
Man, I am good, man. This is a pleasure. You are a legend. I grew up listening to your music. I'm definitely of age. You know what I mean? So, but
Yeah.
but definitely my younger years from I Need Love and Rock the Bells and all that radio. I mean, those are the joints I grew up to, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. No doubt.
Of course, man. Of course. Well, hey, thank you for being on the show today. My name is DJ E-Rock, based out in LA, Las Vegas, all around the country. So we got a couple of stations that, are going to be hearing this conversation. So thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate this.
My absolute pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
Now, you've been a pioneer in hip hop, for decades. What motivates you to keep pushing the boundaries in your career, and how do you, stay creatively inspired?
I love it. I love it. Like
Plain and simple.
yeah, it really is that simple. And but that enthusiasm and that love that comes from being really, really interested in it, from having a real knowledge and understanding, wisdom and understanding when it comes to the music and the culture, and then believing, you know what I'm saying? Really believing in it. And but I love it, man. And I just feel like, you know, I tell people, artists can express themselves as rappers, but not all rappers are artists,
Mm,
right? And um, and when I talk about art, I'm not talking about somebody who signed a contract or a record deal. I'm talking about the true definition of an artist, you know. And I'm an artist, B. Like this is art to me, and I really, really love creating music, and I really love creating, pushing the envelope through hip hop and showing people what's possible through hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, and creating it. And I think, over time, people are starting to understand that I'm not just a guy that's rapping. But I think it took, because I never really tried to market myself as an artist or market myself as a businessman, and I only really dealt with the love of the culture. I think people that a lot of people may have missed that piece. Um, and that's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. But I think, just showing people what's possible, you know what I'm saying? Showing people like that you could keep making music and keep making high level, impactful contributions that make people's lives better. Like
I love that.
that's what I love about it, man. Cause it's like I make the music because I love the idea of people pressing play and forgetting about life's problems for a minute and just being able to go on a journey with me with the music. I
Mm.
love making that contribution to the world. We can look at the news and see certain things. We can look at, online and see certain things. And then you can press download a LL Cool J album and see a different vision and escape and go somewhere else with it. And that's what I love about this whole thing. That's why I do it.
That's amazing. Beautiful words right there, my brother. Say it. Say it loud. You
Yeah.
said that with your chest.
Yeah.
You know what
No
I
doubt.
mean?
Yeah.
What is it that you don't do? You obviously are an artist, and this art has no boundaries for you. You rap, you make music, you're a businessman, you're an actor. You know what I mean? Like, yo, is there anything that you don't do? Simple, but
I
but
don't
but but
ignore
kind
my
of a crazy
dreams.
question.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I don't ignore my dreams. That's what I don't do. I don't ignore the things that I'm inspired to go after. I don't like shush away or quiet down that enthusiasm inside of me when I feel inspired to go after something, regardless of odds, regardless of outside opinions, regardless of what people, even in the inner circle, may think. It really is about what am I inspired to go after? And so that's the thing that what I don't do is ignore the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I don't do, you know? Um,
A lot of people got to hear that. A
yeah,
lot of people got to hear that. A lot of people need to do that for themselves as well.
yeah. Well, it's all
Um,
a metaphor for life. You know,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Do you feel that hip hop artists have more opportunities today to diversify their careers compared to when you started?
yeah, they do. Um, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think, opportunity, but there's a plus and minus to everything, right? So now you have a lots of opportunity, but there's also a lot of noise. So you have more opportunities, but it's a little bit more difficult to take advantage of the opportunity, full advantage, because yeah, you can put a record out. What does that really mean? 2 million people put out 2 million records every 2 seconds, every 2 million seconds. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like there's still a point where it is about the song, it is about the art, it's about the piece, it's about the presentation, it's about what you created. And so you want to do clothes? All right, a lot of people do clothes. What does that really mean? Oh, you want to do this? A lot of people see, a lot of people have ideas. Ideas are free. It's the execution that costs.
Mm-hmm.
Having an idea is free. You pay the price in the execution of the idea and in bringing it to fruition. And so a lot of people kind of, that's the thing that kind of still matters. So, I think that at the end of the day, you know, nothing has really changed in terms of impacting the world. You have more roadways, but it's like throwing a cinder block in the ocean, or you have,
Still comes down to the basics.
yeah, it
It
still
still
does.
comes
It
down to
still,
the
yeah,
fundamentals. You know what I
it
mean? The
still does.
execution is everything.
Everything.
Feel that. I feel that because I feel like even me as a DJ, I feel like, well, at least like for me, I feel like the opportunities for me to diversify a DJ today are quite different than it was back in the day. Back in the day, it was like you did your parties, you did your clubs, you did you know, you were lucky if you got to DJ for an artist or something like that. That was like, like the pinnacle. Now it's
Yeah.
just different. You got mega residencies, tours, some DJs are opening up sneaker spots,
Yeah,
you know
the
what I'm
thing
saying?
though is
It's
but here's the
different.
thing. Here's the thing. To jump on what you just said before you move on from that, you still got to maximize the opportunities though.
Yeah.
So,
Always.
still, even that, you still got to maximize. So you open a sneaker spot. How long did it stay open? How successful was it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you still have to You had a residency. Okay, great. Are you going to have another residency?
Facts.
Did you deliver? Did people love it? So even though there's more, you still have to maximize everything. So it kind of like, it's a very interesting, it's interesting. That's a very interesting thing.
And that's the key to standing the testament of time, to being able to do this as long as you've been doing it, as long as I've been doing it. That is the key right there. Asking yourself, all right, I got this, but what did I do? Did I maximize it? You know what I mean? Did I do everything I can to make sure that lasted, that this run stayed the path as long as it did? You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? Being
And
consistent, all that.
exactly. And you got to be self-aware and humble to do it properly.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Um, Hip hop recently celebrated its 50th anniversary. You did the Force tour, which was beautiful, by the way. I got to shout out a common friend that we have, my brother DJ Shortcut. Recently had a stroke. You know what I mean? But I remember before he was in the hospital, he was actually telling me how beautiful that experience was.
Yeah.
So shout out to DJ Shortcut one
Yeah, I
time,
want to
but back
shout out Shortcut as well. My man,
Shortcut's the brother right
Shortcut
there.
and his girl, him and his girl, they were so cool on the tour. And he was, I loved seeing him, getting everything rolling every night. He did a great job. I like Shortcut a lot. I hope he's recovering. You know what I'm saying? I hope, I'm not sure how, where he's at physically
He's
right
doing
now.
well, day by
Good.
day,
So
day by
good.
day.
So
Shout out Lauren. I actually grew up with this
it-
girl too, so we all
yeah,
we all come from the common circle of friends, man. But
yeah.
I remember him telling me like how crazy that experience was. But
So
back to the question, how do you feel about the genre's evolution, and what do you think is its biggest challenge today in 2024? Hip hop, the culture,
the
music, everything.
evolution, I think the evolution is the, I think the monetization of it has been stellar, right? In terms of people figuring out how to make money from it and how to maximize the money and the mass appeal of it,
Mm-hmm.
the growth of it has been amazing. I think the challenge is in remembering that it's for real people. I think
Facts.
the challenge
A
is in,
100.
you know what I'm saying? Like there's dudes that's getting up in the morning and girls that's getting up in the morning to go to work who don't want to talk to you about your watch all night long, who don't want to just only listen to a song about your watch for the next 20 years. Like there's got to be more to talk about than money. And that doesn't mean, and there's nothing wrong with money. I like money. I like getting paid. I
Who
charge
doesn't like
top
money?
dollar. Right. But they're just, I think that we just have to remember in the course of this thing, we don't lose our souls.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like when you listen to Bob Marley and when you listen to, certain music, it has soul. And I think hip hop has to still have a soul, and if it becomes only clickbait and only dollars, it somehow loses its soul. Then it's not as meaningful. It's no longer art. Then it just becomes like a marketing tool, which is not the same as art. Art can be marketed and you can use art to market, but art in and of itself is not a marketing tool. It is art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that, so that's
Marketing
just,
tools are flashes in the pan. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
they can be. They can
Yeah.
be. I mean, because we
Can
can,
be.
they can be. And I think that that's the thing. I think the biggest challenge is just to remember that they're real fans, downloading these songs that have real lives and want to think about, that have there are other experiences. And nothing wrong with being aspirational. There's nothing wrong with us talking about the Raris. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. It's just that we just got to remember that there's real people out there that are going through real stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the music can reflect some of that. Like when I write a song like I Need Love from back in the days, the song made money, but the song was about something else that people go through. Like, even a song like, a song like Proclivities, which is not as emotionally connected as I Need Love, is still about a different side of a human emotion that's there's a little bit more there to dig into, whether you agree or disagree with this idea of us having proclivities. It's still something that people got to Google and what does it even mean and look it up and try to figure it out. And like, so there's depth there, right? Or even a song like Murdergram with Eminem, we're still showing lyrical prowess and giving people the joy of skill. It's like doing a guitar solo. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the guitar solo in and of itself doesn't have words, but the skill of those fingers, when you hear Hendrix or when you hear Vaughn or one of those guys Clapton on those guitars, when you hear Van Halen on the guitar, like, yo, the skill. And that's what me and Emma doing with Murdergram. So it's like, I just think that we still got to remember the soul of the thing and not just make it only about grosses and who got
Yeah.
the watch, whose car cost the most, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's still, it's art, bro.
No.
That's just me though. Like I can't speak for everybody. You know what I mean?
I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. You mentioned proclivities. What exactly is a proclivity? This is the new single out right now
Yeah.
with Sweetie. Shout out to Sweetie, my Bay Area sister.
Yeah.
What exactly is a proclivity for
So
those
so
for those that don't know?
so if you, let's just say, some people don't need to go to Vegas because they have a proclivity to gamble, right? It is that thing that it's almost like a weakness that you have a tendency to go after. It could be apple pies. You could have a proclivities to go down to the corner store and grab a 6-pack when you shouldn't.
I have a proclivity to coffee, so that is
You might
me.
have a
That is me.
proclivity for coffee
Sometimes I
when
go a little too ham.
like, so a proclivity a lot of times is something, it can be something that is negative, but you have a tendency to want it anyway. And what I was talking about in the song is that shadow side of our lives and the sexual side of just where people kind of go after things that they may not necessarily want or should have. And it's the naughty aspect of romance, you know what I'm saying? Which is different from doing it, which was just direct. This is the naughty side of romance. So it's kind of like you have people that might have a proclivity to want to cheat. I don't know. It happens. Like so.
Hey,
These
different
are the
strokes for
things,
different folks.
different strokes. No pun
Yeah, yeah,
intended.
yeah.
And so
Pause.
pause. No pun intended. So yeah, that's what proclivities is. You know what I'm saying?
I love the record. Where's the sample from? Just to kind of jog
You
my
know what?
memory.
I want to say Gary Newman, but Tip is when he was creating, and I watched him create it, but I wasn't really paying attention to what he was lifting because I was
Production is fire.
watching him, more watching him play the synths and everything. But I believe it's Gary Newman. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Man, I know I got to wrap it up. So this is my last question, but I figured I would use my last question to get your advice. All right. Now
Okay.
you've been doing this for quite a long time. As for me, maybe a little less, but I would like to say that like, I'm a veteran at what I do,
Okay.
right?
No doubt. No
I
doubt.
got to sit down with a younger person in the industry, and I got to give him my advice, right?
Okay.
Mentoring, it's super important. Now, at the end of that conversation, I shook his hand and he said, "Yo, E-Rock, if there was any other old head in the business that knew what they were doing, man, I don't know, man. It's you." And I looked at him, I was like, "Old head?
Uh,
What do you mean old head?" Like, and I didn't know how to take it. I was like, now, do I take that as a compliment because I've been doing it for so long and I've been successful at it? Or do I take it as like, nah, 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 nah. You're not gonna call me old. I got a lot left in the tank.
uh,
How would you
yeah.
have taken that conversation?
So I know people, like a lot of people kind of get caught up in this. What I think about it, especially when we talk about our culture and life, it's like it's not about old versus young. It's about old versus new.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, it's like it's not a matter of being young. It's a matter of who has the new idea. Because you
Facts.
know, you know, every rapper out there right now had the opportunity to make proclivities.
Mm-hmm.
They could have made Murdergram. The idea is new. It's just who's doing it. So I don't really trip off of like the age or the old head thing. I understand that just comes with the territory. When you 20, you think everybody is old, even though a 12-year-old thinks you're old. It's like it just comes
Facts.
with the territory. Like everybody thinks they're young until they're not. Like I was the same way. I thought I was young, and then one day somebody told me, "Yo, you're older," and I just looked and I said, "Oh, okay. That's where I'm at with it. It is what it is." But it's about having the new ideas because the mind is infinite and the creative spirit is infinite. So it's like, are the ideas new? And is the execution of the ideas new? Like, are you giving me, for lack of a better word, 2001 Escalade execution or 2024 Tesla execution, SpaceX execution, right? Like, so the idea, it's about the ideas. And I think that that's the difference. And ultimately, you can be young with old ideas and old execution, and you can be old with new, or
That's
and any
crazy.
variation thereof.
Never seen it that way, but that's
You know what I
that.
mean?
Yo, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nah, yeah, because I was like, I didn't know how to process that. It
Nah,
bothered
don't
me
trip.
for a little
Don't
bit.
trip.
Nah,
Don't
I'm
trip.
not tripping that now,
No,
especially
I mean,
now.
in other
I'm getting
words, it's
advice from the
okay.
GOAT right now.
Yeah,
Come
it's all
on.
good. It's all good, bro. Like, listen, like we have to be comfortable with our chronological age because that has nothing to do with the creative, the level of your ideas. I mean, Elon, I haven't heard, any 20-year-olds planning their Mars trips on rap records.
Damn.
Elon is a lot older than them and is thinking very new. So it's not, again, rocket ships are being, so it's about the idea, the newest and best idea. Are you the cutting edge of innovation in whatever area of life you're in? That's what makes us fresh. Are you fresh?
My God.
It's not about birthdays. Are you fresh?
You see this? I'm taking my hat off to you right now.
My man, my
This
man.
is this is some of the goldest gold in the world that I have heard, especially in any interview that I've done. So it has been an honor to
My
be
man.
in this conversation with you. Proclivities featuring Sweetie is out now,
No doubt.
right?
The whole Force album is
The
out
whole
there.
Force
Download
album
that
is
whole
out now.
album.
Go
Yeah,
download it, go
yeah,
stream it.
yeah.
Yo, man, hey, LL, thank you so much. Fun fact, man, I have a friend that used to tease me and say, "Man, you look like LL Cool J, E-Rock." I'm like, "No, I don't." That
But I mean, hey, you never know. I don't know. E, they put a filter on this. It ain't too far off, bro. I think people might. I don't know. I might have to go for that one.
again, thank you so much. I
Much love, E.
appreciate you. You are a legend. And when you come
Thank
to
you, man.
Vegas, man, would love to connect with you.
Yep.
My man,
Well,
LL
all right,
Cool
E.
J on the
My
basement.
man.
Thank
Peace and
you.
love, baby.